Hey, what's up? We are here today. We are gathered here today. Yeah, you have the book. I was like gonna pull up a picture of it, but it doesn't really even matter. We are here to discuss The Long Game by Elena Armas. This is, I'm pretty sure, Elena Armas's third book, right?
Yes.
And we'll just dive right into the beginning. Um, if you're here, let us know what you rated the book. Amanda, if you would like to tell us all here what you rated the book.
Okay. So we got 5 stars. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, non-spoiler thoughts. Like, give me the five. Like it gave you the 5-star feels.
Mm-hmm. Mostly towards the beginning. Okay. Mostly until I got to page 288.
Mm-hmm.
That was 5 stars for me. And then the ending, I didn't love all of the third act stuff, but I was like, whatever, it was good, and I was kicking my feet, so it's fine. I liked this almost as much as the Spanish Love Deception. I remember really loving Spanish Love Deception when I read it. I mean, that book has a vivid memory of me sitting on the couch dying laughing. So that's a great memory. But this one I was also cackling. I don't know. I just loved how it didn't take itself seriously. It was rom-com at its core and had those silly stupid jokes where you're like, this is kind of dumb, but also I'm living at the same time. So that was kind of my vibe. And then Cameron was so just and then I really liked the Ice Queen girl too. I really liked her, yeah.
So obviously we've read an Elena Armas book before, The American Roommate Experiment. So you've read all three. Where what's the official ranking?
I mean, Spanish Love Deception has to be number one, but I have to reread it to really rank that because it was a product of its time for me. So I don't know if it would stand up, but then this one, because I rated American Love Experiment 3 or 3.5. I didn't love it. So that one was definitely disappointing. But.
Okay. Well, this one was very disappointing for me. I ended up giving this a 2.5. But I'm gonna round it up to a 3 on Goodreads. So I mean, but I'm gonna specify in the description that it's 2.5. If we're being really technical, it's a 2.75 because I didn't hate it and I can see why other people would like it. But just the more I think about it, the more I dislike it. So I'm like, just stop thinking about it, maybe. And I was going through some Goodreads reviews, good ones and bad ones. And I was like, yeah, it really solidifies the 2.5 for me personally.
Wow.
But I was cackling at some of the 1-star reviews. They're really great.
I looked through them too.
Yeah, I definitely recommend anyone here watching to go and look at the reviews because some of them are really funny. There was one that said this guy does not give off the energy that he would have a thigh tattoo or something like that.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. You're totally right about that. But for anyone here who hasn't read the book yet or wants to, Amanda, would you love to give a little synopsis of the book?
Oh, okay. We have, what's her name? Okay. We have Miss Adeline. She's a PR girly for this team, and she works under her dad, and she ends up in this little situation where she basically beats up the mascot of this team that she works for. And so she gets kind of in trouble, and her dad is really mad, and he's not really, giving her any love at all. But anyway, This is besides the point. This is getting more than a synopsis. Anyway, so she ends up having to go to this place that's like in the middle of nowhere in like one of the Carolinas, and
North Carolina.
he's making her go to this new team, and she thinks like, okay, I can like do that, but no, the team is a little league. So we have children, okay. And then we have the man, of course. He is her neighbor, and she stumbles across him because she hits him with her car. She hits him with her car. And then he ends up being this like football star. Well, not football, but football, soccer, soccer star from England. And yeah, and he ends up being at this little league too, because he's like hiding. That's kind of the gist.
Yeah.
It's grumpy. They're both grumpy, and it's a good time. I don't know.
Which I did see some like discourse about that it's grumpy sunshine, and I was like, it's definitely grumpy. Like neither of them are sunshine.
Yeah, I get that he like became more sunshiny.
Yeah.
Maybe compared to her. But like, yeah, he's definitely grumpy in the beginning.
And he's not he just doesn't give off like puppy dog energy from the start.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely more so boy falls first or like man falls first type of vibe, but it's not. It's definitely grumpy. And it's also one of my least favorite things, slow burn.
Yes.
Very
I love the slow burn.
Hello, Nikki.
Hello,
Liz. When are you ever gonna read a book that we read? That's what I want to know. I'm gonna call you out real quick. But I like that you're always here to support. 4 stars. I agree the beginning was stronger. It was so funny. I'm still reading. I haven't finished it, but I think I'm giving it 5 stars. Yay. So I guess I'm definitely the Debbie Downer in this discussion today.
Yes.
You are.
Facts.
I mean, yeah, I can't dog on you too much. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all that. Oh, wait. Before the people who haven't finished it or haven't read it skedaddle out of here. I was gonna be like, I don't even know what I was gonna say. Let's go ahead and say this new thing that I came up with. Big brain over here. Sugar scale. 1 out of like
wow.
Out of 5 lollipops, how many like for sugarness? Okay, this like sweet, cute.
Or sweet and cute. This was definitely a 5. 5 sugars. It was sugary and sweet.
I feel like I would give it a 4. It was definitely like mainly.
It was mushy gush for sure.
What about spice scale?
Spice. Definitely like a 1.
Yeah. I was gonna say 1 or like half of 1.
Yeah, even half. But if we're doing it out of 5, I think 1.
Yeah. Not a skedaddle. I was like, let's do sugar and spice. Why not?
That's so good.
All right. Now we're going to get into some spoilers. So if you haven't read the book, skedaddle. I'm going to use the word again. Let me put up my little banner and let's get into it. Let's talk characters. So, Adeline, how do we feel about Adeline? Is she the moment?
She is such a moment. I literally love her. I was so related as a Capricorn. I literally just related to her so much because, people see her as like, boss bitch, but like she don't got no feelings and she's just here to like get her shit done and go. And I just loved it because she had those feelings, but she like didn't express them, and then she felt so bad about herself because of this stupid man. And she just
Well, pretty much all the men in her life do her wrong.
yes.
Like, it's not just her ex.
And
Like,
she
it's
had to
her
learn
dad.
that, like, these men were not good for her. Like, the fact that she grew so much to see, like, at the end that her father was also a piece of shit. Like, I just loved the slow realization, the wheels turning in her head, like, oh shit. But yeah, loved her.
I mean, I felt like she was very much a pick-me girl.
Ah,
And she even said, like, I'm not like other girls, like, in the beginning.
did she?
She really did.
Hmm.
And I just can't get behind it. I don't know. I understand like parts of her character and like I obviously love the like panic attack rep that was in there,
Yes.
but it did feel quite forced and like I've got to write her not perfect in some way. So let me just put this in here because it was like she didn't even know that she was having panic attacks until a man pointed it out to her. Like she
Yeah.
had to be mansplained that she was having panic attacks.
I think she was like just ignoring them, thinking like whatever
Yeah.
it
And then
must be.
obviously like in the end she ends up going to therapy, but I'm like why didn't he go to therapy too?
True.
Because he has some PTSD,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which we can talk about him now too, Cam or
Oh, Mr. Cam.
whatever else the 9-year-olds nicknamed
Maria.
him.
Yes. I loved Cam too. I loved them both. Um, I liked how he treated her.
Mhm.
He was just it was just such a good character arc because it's so slow burn that like you really got to like know these people and the activities. Okay, we'll get into that later, but like I just
You know what? Now that you're saying that, it I know why I didn't like it. It reminded me a lot of All Roads Lead Here.
yes, yes, it did, and I was living. I was like, yes,
That
literally
is like while you were talking, the wheels were turning. I was like, "Wait a second. That's exactly why." Like they're the way that they are characterized are very much the same.
it is very similar, and I loved every second of it.
Except he didn't have a kid, but like he had very much like daddy energy with the kids. Like he did so well with the 9-year-olds. Like he was much better than
Yeah,
she was, even though they thought he was really grumpy, but
yeah,
I thought that was kind of cute. I mean, the one upside to the book, like in the beginning, I was kind of like smiling because I felt like they had really great banter.
yeah, they did.
Like it was super cute, but then it just came to a point where I was like, just get with the romance already. Like, is this a rom-com? Like, kind of, but where's the rom? Like, it's just comedy,
It
and
was
it doesn't
funny.
come in until like literally 80% is when they
But
like.
that's why you believe in the love. Like when they said I love you or whatever, I was fully believing them. I was like, yes, I've seen you. I've seen you grow. I've seen this come to fruition and I watched it happen.
I didn't feel that way. I
He
was just like,
didn't like her.
I didn't even know it was slow burn going into it, so I was like, this book isn't that long,
Yeah.
right? So it's gonna be short and sweet.
Hmm.
And it just felt like such a drag for me. And honestly, if I hadn't read it for this, like I would have DNF'd it. Not because I thought it was terrible or anything, but just like I couldn't be bothered. Like I would be okay not knowing how it ended, if that makes sense.
Wow.
You're like, okay, well, hello.
Oh,
Did you guys love the book? Because I did.
yes.
Amelia did.
It was 5 stars.
I listened to the audiobook.
Oh, I read this all basically in one sitting
And you
yesterday.
know what? you know what? The reason I'm knocking it up to 3 instead of the well, I guess on Goodreads 2 or 3, but you know what I mean, rounding up to a 3 instead of rounding down is because he had a British accent and it was really nice.
That's good.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, she is. It's true. She likes to I think of her as like, yeah, similar to Mariana Zapata, honestly.
But it's wild to have such like it feels so slow in such a short amount of time. So like I don't understand. Like big books, like Mariana Zapata books, right? They're chunky. So you're like, okay, I know what I'm getting into. It's gonna be a slow burn through all these pages. But like looking at a book like that, how do you do a slow burn in that amount of pages but make it seem like the slowest burn of your life?
Slowest burn. I love slow burn. Yes. I love it.
Shane East. Yeah, the narrators were pretty good. I would ask my usual question for like, oh yeah, fan cast, but honestly, I didn't pay much attention to like their characteristics except that he was like fully tatted
Right.
head to toe, basically.
And a soccer player, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know like what color hair he had. I mean, if I'm going off the cover,
Yeah.
then I don't
Well,
know.
he's Italian and something else.
He's half Italian, half English.
English or something. Yeah. So I think the cover makes sense.
Has no face. I think the cover makes a lot of sense. He really looks half Italian, half.
Okay, but like, okay. Yeah.
Oh, so funny. Okay. What about her dad?
Oh, screw him. Oh my god. Literally the worst. I knew from the beginning that I didn't like him because he was just so insensitive to everything ever.
Mhm.
But my problem was that the mom seemed like she still had feelings for him, even though he's a shitty person. And I just wonder how that is. I'm
Yeah.
like what?
And like the whole time I was so confused because obviously, you know, her mom doesn't know where she went at first and was like, your father never tells me anything, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what? Like, are they together? Are they not together? And then later on, like, when her mom visits her and she tells her, like, this is why I never married him because I couldn't marry somebody that, like, wouldn't tell me everything and, like, couldn't trust me. Like, if he can't trust me, I can't trust him.
Exactly.
Type of thing. And I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah. I did like her mom a lot.
Yeah, I liked her mom, but I was just so confused at first because I was like, okay, so she's in his office, but they don't seem to get along. Like, I don't know what's going on here because it was never like fully stated until later on where she's like, yeah, he keeps me so out of the loop. And you're like, oh, okay, so you guys don't live together and you never were married.
Right.
But like, also, I mean, I guess it kind of goes along with his character too. Something that I felt was kind of random thrown in there towards the end is that Josie is like her half sister.
Yeah. I think that was the person he was texting. Like he had all those papers for that her mom had been talking about that he didn't want to tell her or whatever.
But like, why did we never get an answer on like anything regarding that? It was just like, oh, and by the way, the girl you've been like befriending.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. And I was like, I bet the next book is gonna be following her, and it is.
Yeah. But I guess like there had to be a reason why her dad sent her to that particular town. And that was like, pulling it together. I actually liked that too, though, because I really liked Josie.
Yeah, I did like Josie. I mean, I really liked, was his name Michael, her best friend?
Matthew, yeah.
Matthew. At first, I was like, please don't let this be, but I have feelings for you, and you should be with me instead. We dodged a bullet with that one.
Yeah.
Although, would I have liked it better? Maybe.
He was such a bestie, such a icon.
Truly. I was like thinking the whole time of that myth that like boys and girls can't be friends. Like there always has to be some type of romantic thing.
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely think Josie and Matthew are next.
Yeah, they're next. It's a marriage of convenience, I think.
Oh, is it already, like, suggested?
Yeah, it was like on Goodreads underneath the thing. I can't remember what it was called.
That's so exciting.
It's called
Oh,
the
I know
short
that one.
list. The short
Oh
list,
my
and it is yeah, somebody said it was engagement of convenience.
Oh, how amazing. Oh
Out
my
fall
god,
2024.
that's so exciting. Oh,
Honestly, yes, the goat does need a book.
I loved every part of this book.
No synopsis yet. I mean, it comes out literally a year from now, so
Listen, we need it now, okay?
gotta keep something under wraps.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the plot?
Okay, I was thoroughly entertained the whole time. Okay, we've got ceramics class, amazing. We have the fall festivities day where, like, they're drinking cocoa and then they almost fuck in the back of a truck. Amazing, 10 out of 10. Then we have the soccer fields with the kids. How fun is this? And then Maria is, like, such a little cutie, and she looks up to Adeline, and it's just so cute. And then the fact that she put on his jersey and falls asleep, that part,
That was
literally, I
cute.
was dying. I
That
was
was
like,
cute.
"Yes, come in to see this." It's so cute. But yeah.
And that was, like, the same part as when she sent, like, the voice memo, right? Of, like,
Yes.
her being
Oh my
drowsy AF, being like, "Oh,
goodness.
yeah, your cat loves to lay on my chest because 'cause you're, like, really hard." I
Yes,
mean, not that you're hard, but I'm sure you are hard.
it was so good. Oh,
It was funny. Very funny. Yes, the
yeah,
fall
it was the
vibes.
perfect introduction to fall.
Right,
Yes.
so cute for once. Yeah, because they didn't speak like kids.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Oh my god, Maria, I thought she
You
was so,
think you
like,
think Maria knows what love is? She's like, "Well, do you love her?" I was like,
"Let's talk like that."
"Child." But,
Hopeless
like,
romantic children talk like that. Isn't she, like, 11?
she's 9. They're all 9-year-olds, right?
Okay, okay, yeah. That makes sense.
I mean, it wasn't, like, unbearable, but I was like, they definitely don't speak like 9-year-olds. But that's
I liked
fine.
how she teased him about his name, like, telling him what different Cam.
Yeah, like chamomile or, like, something like that. I was like, "How would you know what that is? How
Mhm,
would you know?"
mhm.
You're right. I'm not around
Yes,
kids
that's
by
true.
choice, so the whole astrology thing too.
Yes, the stars, and then she, like, literally, oh, I was just cackling when she literally fell in poop, and then she's, like, running after the goat, and I was like, "This is literally me. This is literally me, like, right now." I'm not even kidding. I just loved it.
Like, that scene in particular, another thing I had, like, an issue with was, like, it just felt very cut, like, you would get to the end of a scene, and then it's just, like, it skips forward
That
randomly.
was one thing, yeah, that was one thing I noticed, was that at every chapter break, there was like, "Okay, end scene."
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I almost was mad about it, and then I was like, "I got over it."
Like, all is forgiven.
Well, one of the scenes I really wanted to know what happened after. Like, I really wanted to get the in between there,
Yeah.
but I guess maybe it's like a deleted scene. I didn't read the Barnes& and Noble extra one, but I know it's like it's some like extra scene from the Pottery Day or something. So I
Mm.
have to read that, but yeah.
I'm sure Target has their own edition too.
Yeah.
Maybe it has like a deleted scene. I don't know. I was at Target and they had one copy left and I was like, should I buy it? And then I was like, no, because first of all, it had that ugly like Target exclusive sticker.
Oh, I
It
hate it.
wasn't even a sticker. Like it was printed on the book.
Yep, can't do it. Can't
And
do
I
it.
was like, I have a feeling I probably won't love this book, so let me not buy it. And that was a great decision on my part.
Oh my god. Somehow all of my Elena Armis books get like really messed up when I read them. Like this one already has like dogs chewing on it and then like watermarks. I don't even know.
I might have to pop into Target and Barnes and read the deleted
Deleted scenes, yes.
Literally same.
So annoying.
They did that for not Dark Horse. White Horse. And it was signed too. Like the book was signed.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm not gonna get it because
Dirty.
it's like printed on there.
So rude.
Okay, so plot wise, I just feel like his reasonings for being there didn't really like click for me. So I know that he like has PTSD from having a crazed fan like break into his house.
Mm-hmm.
And so he doesn't want to be known anymore.
Yeah.
But like how did we get from there to him like coaching 9-year-olds?
I mean,
I was kind of confused about that.
True. But I just, going
I was just like, and he is grumpy. So like why would he choose this? I don't know.
I think it was Josie who like just dragged him into it. She's like, all right, let's drag this guy into this because he's hiding out in my town, my small town. And he begrudgingly agreed.
Right. And I mean, the kids wouldn't know that he's famous.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Because like if he still wants to work like in that same industry.
Yeah.
Then it makes sense that he would go with kids because they won't know who he is.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one. He couldn't say no to Josie.
Yeah.
Nobody can.
I know, I wouldn't either. I'm happy.
She can talk you into just about anything.
I'm gonna suck her energy. I need some of that positivity in my life.
And like I'm so confused at the whole like energy drink thing.
It was like it was like nowadays where like some meme goes viral and then all of a sudden they're like making music and logos and all that stuff.
And like making her the face of the energy drink. I was like, what does that even mean?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like exactly her face. It was like almost like a cartoon version where like nobody would know it was her unless they knew the context. But obviously, like millions of people saw it, so she was like, "Oh shit!" Like everyone knows this is fucking me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because I mean, if they used her actual face, then I guess she could sue.
Yeah.
But like using your likeness is still a suable offense.
True.
I'm just saying. And like I could just care less about all the soccer shit. Like that's why I was so annoyed by the whole book because, usually in sports romances, if I'm not feeling the sport and there'll be a scene where they're like, oh yeah, he scores a goal and he does this thing. And I kind of just like skim past that. But it was like so worked into the plot that like the team's being sold and like he doesn't want to tell her because of blah, blah. And then her ex is like trying to do this stuff. And then the energy drink company is like trying to buy it. And I was like, I just really could care less.
It was very sports.
Very sports.
We were reading about a PR sports girly too. So you have that to think about too. Like most of the time the main characters are like just girlies.
True.
That don't have anything to do with the team. And then dating a team member.
I guess I just wanted her to be more like the girl in Blindside by Candy Steiner.
Mm-hmm.
because I felt like there was a good balance there. I know she wasn't necessarily like a coach, but it was still like she was very involved with the team.
Yeah.
And I feel like in this book, like we never actually got any coaching moments. Like we got them talking pretty much on the sidelines and stuff, but like I would have loved to see like them actually coaching them more. I mean, we get a little bit, but
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we
I was
kinda
like, he's the coach and she's just standing there is basically like what I got from it.
reminder, and she's like, "This is the plan."
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of a side plot for sure. Cause like, then at the end, she didn't actually watch them win, and then he just kinda told her, "Yeah, they won."
Yeah.
I guess I would've liked to see them win, like, have Maria's reaction and everything.
Yeah. It's like the stuff I would have liked is the stuff that she probably cut out.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm like very annoyed by the whole thing. And what about not me like knocking over my entire desk. What about the conflict? Like how do we feel about I mean, it wasn't really even like yeah, it was just a conflict. It wasn't like
It
a
was just
third
a
act break.
small conflict, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really love it. That was the one thing where I kind of was like, "Should I rate this 4 stars?" Just
Mhm.
because it was so random, like, okay, he's gonna sell the like, why did I just it was so random to throw in that, "Oh, we're gonna call her man from England about this." It's just convenient right there, like, because the whole book, they weren't interested in this man, right? And
Yeah.
then to have her I mean, obviously she cares, but it was just so random and so fast. Like it happened, okay, let's just throw in this conflict. Okay, we know that that's going to come up later. And then it happened like a chapter later and you're like, "Okay, I knew this would happen, but I didn't like it."
Yeah. And he just waited like a day to tell her. And she was like, it's always this. It's always, how do you know what's best for me? Like, I know what's best for me. I can make my own decisions. And he's like, the whole time, I loved that he stayed there and like pled his case. He wasn't like, it
Yeah,
wasn't like she just said something to him. And
yeah,
he was like, well, if that's how you feel, like, he was like, no, I know you can handle yourself. I know that
yeah.
this happened. Like, I wasn't doing this. I thought it out. And this is how I chose to approach it. Like, he
Yeah.
was very calm, cool, collected. And I
It
was
was
living for that.
like there was no miscommunication there because he was communicating.
Yeah.
It's just she didn't really like the way that he went about things, but that's every relationship ever. So
He's like, I didn't want to say anything until it was 100% concrete.
yeah.
There's no reason to bring it up to you. And he's like, I don't want to ruin things for you. People have ruined everything in your life. Like, I didn't want to bring something up and make you sad if
Yeah,
something wasn't actually going to happen. And I was like, yes. And then she just pushes him away even further and
I know.
is like, well, I have to go save the team. Like, I don't even know. And then she literally leaves, abandons her team of 9-year-olds. And then it's just like,
I'm always sad about that.
she's like, hey, dad. What's
I
up?
thought she'd stick around at least to, like, through the game and then maybe go, but
Yeah.
she
She's
had
like,
to
no,
run.
I have to do this right now
Yeah.
because this deal is being signed.
Mhm.
I don't know. But
But
yeah,
I ended up liking how it played out after. It was just kind of fast pacing for me. The conflict came up really fast.
yeah, it like came up super. I mean, because we had to work up to 80% to actually get a romance between them,
Mhm.
I felt like that rushed the conflict even more because it's like they're only together for like 5%.
Mhm.
And then it's like, oh, here's a conflict, but we have to resolve it really quick because
I
we
think
have
that
like
was
only 10% left.
I think that was, like, the small issue, yeah.
Yeah. So it just felt very rushed towards the end. And it was like, you could have just made it less of a slow burn and then just put
Mhm.
an actual conflict in there, I guess, that would make more sense. Cause I just felt like it didn't make any sense.
Mhm.
And it's very much in his character and in her character to not react. Like, she just blew it out of proportion and she wasn't listening to him at all.
Mm-hmm.
Or like she's supposed to be, I don't know, she's just not supposed to be like other girls. So I don't really understand.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. Rude. How she reacted, not you guys.
Yes.
Exactly. And then her being like, oh my god, my dad is so mean. Like, you were so right. And she's like, I just want Cam by my side. And I was like, yeah, we've been new.
Yeah, exactly. But I liked how he was steady and showed her what she was like needing, you know?
Yeah.
Not needing, but missing from other men that she dated.
But also, like, I just didn't feel it was very believable for, them to actually not have any contact the first time and he just, like, at will makes her come. Like, I just don't understand that, and it didn't seem very believable.
Weren't they like, with the clothes on?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll do it.
She hasn't had, like, any emotional connection with anyone. She hasn't had, like, she's out of practice, and she doesn't feel
Yeah.
like she's ever had this deep of, like, an attraction to somebody or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's just, like, immediately blows her load. It just didn't make any sense to me.
Was digging the friction.
And then she's like, okay, so I do you now? And he's like, chill out, bro.
Oh my god.
And then the first time that they are about to have sex, it's like when her mom is there. And I'm like,
Oh my god, I know.
can we not do this? I mean, I'm glad they didn't even try to go through with it. It was like, we're both in the mood, obviously, but like, your mom is right in the next room.
Scary.
If this were after, they don't.
Well, her mom would have like fully been on board with this.
Yeah. Because she thought, she was like, he's cute.
She was like, you better.
You better, because if you don't, I might. Did you have any favorite quotes or anything?
Ooh, I did. Let's see. Well, this is kind of underwhelming, but in the moment it was cute. He said, I'll always give you more than what you ask for, even when you don't know what you want. I like that because he's just such a peach. And he says just all the right things that no man would. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like only a fictional man can.
Yes. And then I liked, oh, yes, the whole on page 341 when they're like going through the kind of like they just re-met each other and he's like, that's all right, I'll be your punching bag, I'll be whatever you need me to be. Oh, anything you need, you are who you are. And I love that so good.
I just can't believe he's like, I'll fight your dragons for you. I was like, sir, this is not a romantasy. What dragons are we talking about here?
Demons.
That was pretty funny.
What was this one from? I don't even know.
My favorite quote from the whole book is, let those goddamn smiles be rare as long as they're mine.
Yes.
That was cute.
Oh, when Maria's telling him about, and he is talking about.
Wait. Evaluate what you just said. When Maria, the 9-year-old, is telling him.
But it's so cute. She says the same face Brandy makes when she realizes I'm the one petting her. Like she can finally be at ease. Like she was scared, but she's okay. I love it.
It did have a lot of hurt comfort, which I know that you love, like, nightmare trope, but like
I do love. Yes.
Willow, my cat, she's after the goddamn cock again. Honestly, Willow was my favorite character.
So good.
Of course, I picked the non-romantic quote.
I love it.
But
Oh
there
yeah,
was,
didn't have any nightmare trope.
yeah.
Missed opportunity right there. Because they were literally neighbors. If she would have been screaming or something, he would have heard.
I mean, it was kind of cute though when like after the whole drowsy thing happened and he's like listening to her voice memo and then he's like, she doesn't sound right. Like something's wrong with her. I know she told me to leave, but like maybe I shouldn't have. And then
Yeah.
he just like barges in.
Hmm.
Kind of love that. I mean, even though someone barged into his place, so like what's with that? You're like, someone else can't do it to me, but I'll do it to someone else.
Yes.
But like she was in danger. She had too many pain meds. He just didn't want to leave her side. And there was one part where like he kind of reminded me of Edward Cullen because he was just like, yeah, I just can't stay away from you anymore, something like that. Like, I can't continue to do this. And she's like, what do you mean can't continue to do? It was just really funny. I don't know. Some of the things he said were cute, like
Hmm.
calling her darling, even though she hated it.
Yes.
But like, why would you keep doing it if she didn't like it?
To piss her off.
And then he slips up and says love one time. That was kind of cute.
Oh, that was really cute.
And then
Oh,
she was like, wait a second, did he just say love? Like the earth was shaking.
I loved the ceramic scene.
I
Just
don't even remember the ceramic scene. You'll have to tell me what that is, because you mentioned it earlier, and I was like, yeah.
well, they were like throwing the clay, and then he was like getting all handsy, and then they start holding hands, and then she's like, "This is the only hand I've ever liked holding," or something, and then she starts having a panic attack because she didn't want to feel like that, and she just felt like she shouldn't have said that because they literally aren't on good terms at this point. Like they aren't like friends really yet. And so then she's like, "Oh my god, I just said that. That's so fucking dumb." And then she starts like hyperventilating, and then he's like,
But
"Breathe."
they're like touching, right?
Yeah.
He's like caressing her arm or something.
He's like helping her mold the clay and like
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
yes.
Exactly. But like for him, it's just a term of endearment. It doesn't mean anything. Like people who are British, they just say love to
Yeah,
everyone.
but it felt significant.
Reminded me of the movie Ghost. I mean, it's kind of coming back to me, but like it wasn't a standout moment for me.
Maybe if you read it physically, it would be.
I don't know. I'm never gonna. I'm never gonna know.
Oh,
But there was one part like towards the very end where, like they meet back up, right? After the whole conflict thing happens and she's like, what did she say? She said something about home and then she's like, no, silly, I don't mean that. I mean like,
Green Oaks.
yeah, exactly. And he's like, what? That's your home? Like we're homies? Not like that, but you know what I mean. And then they kiss in the street and everybody sees them. And then he's like, how many people just saw me eat my woman's face? Like those words exactly. I was like, did I hear that correctly? And I went back. Eat my woman's face.
I didn't even notice.
Don't ever talk to me again. I just couldn't with that. But everyone's like being turned on by like them making out, and I'm like, this is kind of weird.
Oh god.
But anyways, those are pretty much my thoughts. I can't think of anything else that was standout for me.
Yeah. I mean, we covered all the bases, but We loved her. She was a moment. She was a rom-com at her core, and that is the tea.
Yeah. I mean, I knew what I was getting into. I just didn't think, again, that it was gonna be as slow of a burn as it
Yeah.
was.
I actually
And
wasn't anticipating a slow burn either, but I forgot, like, I haven't read one of her books in a while, and
mhm.
I've been reading a lot of fantasy romance actually, but I just haven't dabbled into this recently, so I was like, "Whoa, where's the romance coming in?" But
Yeah, like, that's my huge issue. I did feel chemistry between them, but
mhm.
it wasn't a romance, really. It was like a comedy,
Mhm.
a cutesy comedy with a
A
little bit of
rom-com.
no, 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 no. Rom-coms are different in my opinion. They
Mhm.
have an equal balance of romedy and no, I'm just kidding.
Comedy.
Romedy.
Rompin'.
Yeah. Oh, wait, we didn't even talk about, like, the actual sexual scenes or
Oh,
anything.
'cause there wasn't many, yeah.
There wasn't many. I mean, it was towards, like, the very end, but did you feel
There
like
was
they were written well? Like
I mean, to be honest, with these books, like, since it's not really what I'm reading them for, I
Mhm.
don't really pay attention to them as much as, like, my smutty little books that I read.
Yeah,
Like,
like
those
dark
ones, I'm,
romances.
like, here for the smut, but this one, I just, like, skim the smut because I'm like, "Okay, their first kiss, like, I really care about," but with the smut, I was like, "Okay, I'm here for, like, the plot," which is interesting to say because 'cause I'm usually not, but yeah,
Yeah.
I
There
don't
were
know.
times when it started to get going, I was like, "Can I just skip past this?" Like, it was there was actually I was listening to the audiobook while I was at work, and my manager walked up to me, like, mid-sex scene, and I'm just like,
Oh my god.
"Hello?" Like, but it wasn't even a moment where I was, like, blushing and like, "Woo!" Like, "This is not a good moment for you to walk over here right now." I was just like, "Thank God. Save me from this." It
It
was
was, like, just long enough, the scene, it was, like, 4 pages or
but just,
something.
like, he acted so out of character, and I'm all for, like, sweet on the streets, freaking the sheets, but, like,
Mhm.
it just felt so forced to
Mm.
make him just be like, "On my command, you won't come until I say." It just I don't know.
But he was like that from the beginning. Well, like, from their
He's
interaction.
kind of yeah, he's kind of gruff, but, like,
Yeah.
he's just not once he falls in love and he, like, obviously falls harder than she does,
Mhm.
it's just like, "Okay, now you're a golden retriever."
Yeah, he should be yeah.
And then to make him, like, the dominant, I was like,
Mhm.
"What?" Like, "Why are you
He
switching
did
roles up like
get
this?"
more, like he lost his grumpiness. Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just became like, "I
It was
love her."
gradual, but it definitely happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, like, okay it wasn't anything of, like, note where I was just like, "Oh my god, all the wrong words were used," and all that stuff, but it was definitely
I wasn't, like,
leaning
swooning like Aaron Blackford, which is the Spanish Love Deception. I was literally, like like, sweating just from them kissing in that book, but yeah.
but I will say that the spice in this was very comparable to the way I feel about Ali Hazelwood
Mm.
spice, but, like, not as bad, in my opinion. My arch nemesis. Ooh,
Oh, no. I love him.
but I will give a credit where credit is due. The epilogue had no marriage, no babies,
Mhm.
no anything. It just gave us a sly little insight as to who the next book is gonna be about.
Yes, I love when they do that.
So, I was really like, "Do I skip the epilogue? Am I gonna get even more mad at this book?" Like, it makes no sense. It's not really a romance. and then we're just gonna throw in, and they have 7 children, and they start their own soccer league as a family. I was like, please no, please no. Yeah, I always think that's the better option than just being like, fast forward 5 years and everything's perfect and they're married with a million kids and all that kind of stuff. Which is fine, I guess. It's just not my cup of tea. Or like it's even more annoying when it's not even in the characterization of like them throughout the story. Like maybe she never wanted kids and then the epilogue is like, "Oh yeah, our third is on the way." And I'm like, "What?"
Like, wait, skip. They died of old age.
I said, "What?"
That's hilarious.
I would rather that. I would rather that. All right. Any other thoughts, feelings you want to share?
Next month is Caution Tape, which
Yes.
is a significantly different book than
Very, very different.
it's very much trigger warnings. So don't say we didn't warn you because this one is gonna get dark.
Mhm.
I
Let me-
think
I'm gonna pull up a picture of it.
it's gonna be stunning. We're ready, and I think our live show falls on Halloween, like legitimately.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because I was like putting my calendar for October together like a
Yeah,
few hours ago, and I was like, "Are we actually gonna do it on Halloween?" I don't have any plans, so I was like,
I mean it's a Tuesday. I feel like I definitely won't be doing anything, but also will other people be busy? Is my question.
I mean, they could always watch it back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's honestly a Halloween vibe, so why not?
bloody.
No, you don't need to read Scream for Us or Melt for Us. It doesn't have anything to do with that series. It's like a whole new thing.
Yeah.
So that's good for people who didn't want to have to prep for anything.
Yeah, because I remember we were talking about maybe doing Bloodshed, but I
Yeah,
think you might have to read the novellas for that. I mean, just to know the characters, not that it matters, like, in the
yeah.
grand scheme of things, like, if you don't read the novellas before Bloodshed, I don't think it would, like,
Mhm.
matter much. Yeah. But I've never read, like, this author duo before. I've read Molly Doyle, but I've never read anything by
JD Midnight. Yeah.
this is the cover.
So good.
There are 2 different covers, but I like this one better.
Yeah. The paperback is the other one.
Yeah, the paperback has, like, all the what is it called? Like a
Caution tape and stuff. Crime scene.
bulletin board with, like, the
Yes.
strings and the fingerprints and all that kinda stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
It's a dark romance, serial killer, horror, erotica. So get ready.
Woo. Yeah, some people will have Halloween plans. I'm just like, yeah, it's a weekday anyways, so I'll have to work the next day, so I'm pretty sure I will not have plans.
I'm ready for sure. But yeah, stay tuned for October, y'all. We have some exciting things coming,
Yes, we do.
which should come out soon.
Very, very soon.
And I can't believe it's already here.
Me neither, but I'm shaking in my boots.
I'm ready. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
that's why I'm already planning October. I'm, like, putting everything on my little calendar. I'm trying to be an organized bitch for this month.
organized girlies unite.
Might actually fill out my reading journal for once in my actual life. But anyways, that's it. That's
Y'all.
the long game. That's that on that. That's our next live and our next book pick. It'll be on Amanda's channel.
Mhm. And I won't look so bad. I'm sick, so don't mind me.
You don't look bad.
Okay, but I feel like I feel bad. So,
And also, we might be switching the live show times to 8 instead of 9.
Yes. Because a girl gets tired too quickly.
So just keep that in mind for future live shows. I mean, I say might, but we definitely will be switching it to 8, but I don't know if that'll happen starting next month or like after that. Hope you feel better.
Yes.
Thanks for coming. All right. Good night, everybody.